Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another session here in Readers Magnet's featured author interview. My name is Leanne. I will be your host for today, and with me is one of the Readers Magnet's featured author. And today, he will be sharing to us what this book is all about, him as an author, and of course, what inspired him to write this book. So, everyone, let's all welcome our one and only Mr. Kenneth K. Gray, author of the book Dreams, the Magic of the Night. Yes, Kenneth, welcome to Readers Magnet's featured author interview. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Wow, that's good too. I'm doing great as well. Thank you so much, Kenneth. All right, Kenneth, this is the moment that we've been waiting for because, of course, we wanted to know more information about your book, how you created it, the inspiration behind it. But before we tackle more information about the book, Kenneth, we wanted to know who Mr. Kenneth K. Gray is. So maybe, a little bit of self-introduction, please.
Sure. I was born and raised, and I'm still living in Southern California. Went to high school here, went to college here, and got a degree in psychology at USC. And then did kind of various odd jobs, ended up in the IT field, doing software development. But I learned about dreams and dreaming through Mr. Edgar Casey a long time ago. And so I was in the habit of journaling my dreams. And I kept going on and just learned more and more. And finally, I thought to myself, I've learned so much in the world of dreams. Why am I keeping it all to myself? I could write a book.
Right.
So I decided to write a book, and bada bing, bada boom, here I am.
Yes, here you are right now, Kenneth, sharing your whole, inspiration behind you creating this book. And yes, of course, talking about your book, Dreams, the Magic of the Night. So yes, will you let us know what this book is all about?
Yeah, the book is kind of an introduction to dreams. Although in a way, it's almost like a personal memoir, because what I do is in almost all of the chapters, not all, but in most of them, I give a little introduction to the content of the dream. And if my brother is going to be in the dream, his name's Brian, then I say, okay, in the dream, Brian's my brother. And then I give my dream journal listing, practically word for word from my dream journal. And then after that, I give what I get out of the dream, the interpretation, or what I call dream decoding. And so I tried to teach basic principles of dream decoding by personal example. And so there's a lot of self-revealing going on in the book. But I think when you're personal with readers and you're using your own material, it's from your heart, then they know it's real.
Right. Well, that's interesting, Kenneth. And you know what? I'm very curious. When did you start jotting down notes? Because based on my own experience, I tend to forget my dreams. I mean, how come that you can still remember it? And then, when did you start jotting down notes? Taking notes of your dreams, and then also, relating it to real life. What's really the meaning of it? So, yeah, can you tell us more about that?
Oh my gosh, that was a long time ago, probably in my 20s. I decided that, I really should journalize these dreams. I should write them down. And at first, I was very befuddled by them. I didn't understand them, but I kept writing them down. And eventually, it became a very strong habit. And I could even wake up in the middle of the night with a dream, write it down, and then go back to sleep. So I think one night I set a record. I had 7 dreams in one night. So all those got into my dream journal. And then the next day, I would read over what I had dreamed and interpret it for myself to see if there was any meaningful content for me. And like I said, it was
Mm-hmm.
very mysterious at first because
Right.
I couldn't relate to it, but
Mm-hmm.
gradually with talking to friends and other people who were working with their dreams, I
Mm-hmm.
realized, wow, these dreams are talking about just what happened to me the day before. They're very relevant. They're very specific and personal.
It's like deja
Uh,
vu. Uh-huh.
yeah, but in a symbolic form.
Exactly. Wow. And you know what, Kenneth? That's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, interpreting random signals from, from the brain and the body during sleep, which is, having dreams. It's actually another kind of way, like consolidating and processing information gathered during the day, right? So it would
Mhm.
really somehow relate to, what is happening between what is really happening during that specific time, and then it happens that you come yeah, I mean that you also experience these kinds of dreams. Possible explanations include representing unconscious desires and wishes, and that's just so amazing. Now, I must say, Kenneth, that you publishing this book, creating this book, is really such a successful creation, and it's actually a good thing that right now you're already sharing it to among as many people. Not just with your experience, but I know that there's a lot of people out there who can also relate to this. Now, um, are there any key challenge, or let's say, what was the most challenging part of you writing your book?
Well, it's you should ask that, Leah, because when I started writing it, I would write
Mm-hmm.
a couple of pages, and then I'd go away for like a couple of weeks, and then I said, "Oh, I got to write this book." I'd go back, I'd do a little more. Eventually, just through persistence, I really got into a flow, and so while I had my full time job going Monday through Friday, on Saturdays, I would get on my computer and start typing, and I could go 2 or 3 hours straight writing on the book uh, because I was just so tuned into it. Initially, it seemed like a lot of work, and I'm kind of lazy. And so, excuse me, it was not that enjoyable for me. So it took a while. It took some time, a couple of years, before I finally got into the groove where I
Mm-hmm.
could really enjoy the writing and understand what I was doing. I had a purpose, and I was fulfilling
Right.
that purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
that it took a while, but I finally got it done.
Right. And it's actually such a successful creation, Kenneth. No, Kenneth, I'm also curious, do you think that dreams are somehow related to our life?
Oh, 100%. Now, I know there are different
Interesting.
theories out there, and
Mm-hmm.
some scientists will say, you kind of touched on it earlier, oh, dreams are just this kind of random result of chemicals and, the digestion of the food you ate at dinner and blah, 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 all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. But other psychologists will tell you they are very meaningful and they
Mm-hmm.
relate specifically to your circumstances and opportunities in life. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you go for an interview uh, for a job,
Mm-hmm.
you may dream that night of an open door. And you're thinking, oh, there's a door open. Well,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
you can see it's very symbolical that
Right, right.
that there's an opportunity you can step into through this
Mm-hmm.
door into another room or a level of consciousness into another experience in this new job. So
Mm-hmm.
once you start to connect the dots and connect universal symbols with what's going on in your life, you'll really be surprised. You'll really be like, oh my gosh, this is so obvious now, and you'll be amazed at the fact that we in America anyway, we don't really pay attention to our dreams very much. That's what's amazing.
Exactly. And you know what? I really like it because I totally agree in that. Our dreams reflects, the patterns of human behavior, which are really linked to our personal experience as well. They provide, let's say, insights to our minds and emotions, being excited, especially, I mean, even stress or anxiety, we have nightmares, pressures from your daily life can also weave their way to our dreams. And I really believe on that, especially if there's, for example, if you're traumatized by something, then there are really times, because based on my own experience as well, there are really times that it would really come to my dreams for some reasons. Yeah.
Sure.
And
One
right,
of
right.
the one of the chapters that I did in the book, I don't remember the name of it now, but
Hmm.
I think it's ire. Ire brings fire.
Wow.
I tried to give them catchy names for each chapter. Anyway, in
That's
the
nice.
dream, there was this industrial place, like a refinery or something, off in the distance,
Hmm.
and it was on fire. And uh, every once in a while, as I was walking along the beach, right next to the water, a like a huge spark of or flame would fall next to me, near me, and
Hmm.
it was getting a little dangerous. And I related that dream to the anger that I had, the ire, uh, in a relationship, friendly relationship that I had at the time. So dreams can, as you said, they can reveal your attitudes and emotions,
Hmm.
and also help you to resolve those in a way that's helpful to you.
Yes, our dreams is really, mirroring that kind of tension. And you know what, Kenneth, this is so funny, but really, I also experience it. I mean, one of my most common dream is really falling for some reasons. Can you explain that? Like, I mean, for some reasons, that's the only thing that I remember. Falling from a building. I mean, and I think that's actually one of the most common dreams as well for the others, if I am not mistaken. Hmm.
One of the
No.
fears that we are born with as babies is the fear of falling. That seems to
Right.
be a universal thing. But
Mm.
I haven't thought about this before, but just off the top of my head, I'm going to say this.
Okay.
Uh, the dream of falling is talking about your own um, self denigration and your negative thinking about yourself, which
Mm.
can lead to a quote unquote fall in consciousness. And as you
Right.
get a hold of better self esteem, better
Mhm.
self love, then you're going to have fewer and fewer of those dreams.
Wow,
What do you
that's
think
just
about
so
that?
amazing. Right, it does really make sense, Kenneth. Wow, and
Okay.
thank you so much for that. Now, Kenneth, also in your book, can you tell us what knowledge would people gain from reading your book?
The greatest knowledge they're going to gain is a better understanding of themselves.
Hmm. That's nice.
So I do. It's not real didactic. It's not like a textbook,
Hmm.
but I do mention principles from time to time. So, for example, uh, the best interpreter of a dream is the dreamer, and the meaning of a
Right.
dream is almost always relating to your experiences in your most recent waking period, the day before,
Hmm.
in other words. So, what's important to you then is highlighted in the dream, and the dream reacts to that. Your subconscious mind or soul, whatever you want to call it, uh,
Hmm.
reacts to your attitude about yourself and your
Hmm.
experiences. So always look for, even in dreams that sometimes have universal meaning or
Hmm. Right.
cosmic meaning, where you feel like you're meeting God or you're meeting Buddha or something like that, and it's this amazing experience. Still look for the symbolic uh, information regarding
Hmm.
yourself. It's always
Wow.
about you. It's always about you, the dreamer.
That's nice, Kenneth. Thank you so much. Now, also, Kenneth, this is very interesting, but I really wanted to know how has this, book impacted your personal life?
That's also been really quite remarkable because at first, of course, it was brand new. So I
Right,
started
sharing
giving
your
away
experience.
the, yeah. So I was giving away books as Christmas presents to try and get it spread around. And
Hmm.
I have discovered the most interesting thing that I didn't know before. Everybody is interested in dreams.
Hmm.
Now, not everybody's willing to wake up in the middle of the night or write down their dreams in the morning, even. Nevertheless, everybody is fascinated by their dreams. It's like we subconsciously know there is a meaning there. There is
Hmm.
something there. And so we have a little bit of a motivation, a little bit of an incentive to investigate it. But as I said before, in our American culture or subcultures, we have very little tradition. And so I really had to, I was really fortunate to run into a lady minister who was keeping track of her dreams. And so we used to talk dreams every day practically. So that has been
Wow.
what's amazing to me. We don't
Wow.
hear much about dreams, but everybody is interested in it.
Including me.
Oh, good,
Yes,
good.
right. Because I also do researching. I mean, what was the meaning of that dream? And then I go to Google, check for the meaning. Oh my God. Wow. Well, and then somehow I can really relate it to what's been happening, what's going on with my life. And somehow, hey, this does really make sense for some reasons. And it's just so amazing. I mean, you know what, Kenneth, I would love to have your book. And yeah, definitely, I'm going to check that one later on. And of course, to our viewers out there, this is our author, Mr. Kenneth Gray. And please do check his book that's available in Amazon.com, Barnes& and Noble, and also in Google Play. And also, Kenneth, before we end this session, is there any message that you'd like to, tell to our viewers out there or who would like to have your book?
Just to be hopeful and be persistent. The rewards are great if you will persist in looking within and
Mhm.
discovering more and more truth, wonderful truth about yourself.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Kenneth. And also for our viewers out there, please do check Mr. Kenneth Gray because he will be doing a book signing for Guadalajara International Book Fair that will be happening on November 30th to December 5th. So, yes, Kenneth, would you please invite our viewers out there because we will be doing a book signing during the Guadalajara Book Fair? Take the stage.
Yes, please do come to Guadalajara if you can.
Right. Thank you so much, Kenneth. Thank you so much for gracing with us today. And you know what? We are very honored and happy that you also choose Reader's Magnet to be part of this journey. Thank you so much. So, yes, everyone, our one and only Mr. Kenneth Gray, author of the book Dreams, the Magic of the Night. Again, thank you so much, Kenneth. And as we say it here in Reader's Magnet, we share your story with the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leah.